What is up everyone, we're back again with another collection video. This is going to be my Arrow Video collection. And I absolutely love the label. They always bring out nice editions of older movies and some newer movies too. And there's always some nice artwork on there. Some of them are 3-disc editions. And I absolutely love the label. Their library is growing now. And I don't have as many as some people on here. But there is a lot of titles that they have now that I want to get. I think there's about 40 titles here. It's a decent size, you know, but I'll just get on with it. But just before I do, I just want to say thank you to Craig Davis, who's made my new logo. Thanks very much, mate. So happy with it. I had a few nice comments on it too. I just think it's really like a cool style made up with it, mate. Thank you very, very much. Now, there is a few movies on here I haven't seen. I think there's about 5. By the end of the video, there'll probably be about 15 now that I've said that. But anyway, let's just get on with the first movie. And that is Audition. By the way, I'll try not to spend too much time on each title, guys. I won't make it too long of a video. That is Audition. I haven't seen this one for about 15 years. But I remember watching it and I was really surprised with the final third of the movie went. It's basically about a guy who lets these women audition to be his new wife. I think he's a rich guy. I can't remember. It's been a while. But this one, I can imagine this movie left a few people scarred. Sort of a movie that's in a certain genre and then just goes and twists into a totally different one. But I really like this one, guys. A very strong movie. And I need to rewatch this again. I've got a rewatch list on my phone and this is on there. I do want to watch it again, but it's not something you're going to throw on every weekend. Next one, I haven't seen this, guys, by the way, and that is Battle Royale. I've heard so many good things about it. I've heard it's like a violent Hunger Games. That's right up my street. So I'll try and get around to this one soon. I have been meaning to throw it on a few times, but I don't know why. I just haven't got around to this. There's a lot of movies in my collection that I'm trying to get around to. So hopefully on the next year's Arrow video update, I'll have watched this one. Next movie next movie on the list is I wasn't a fan of this film, guys. I'm going to upset a few people here, I know. And that is Big Trouble in Little China. Look, I'm going to have to rewatch it because too many people like this film. But I think what it was like the hottest night of the year. And I just couldn't get to sleep. It was really late. I had work the next day. But I just threw this on. I thought, you know what, I'll just put it on. And it was such a weird film. I couldn't take to it at all. But maybe because I was uncomfortable, you know, watching it had an effect. So I will give this another go at some point. Next up, we have Blood Rage. I love this movie. It's a low-budget horror film. It takes place on Thanksgiving. But it's really well done for what the budget they had to make it with. And there's 2 brothers, and one is in a mental hospital, and he comes out after about 10 years and murders start to occur again. It's a decent movie. They're both twin brothers, so you can't really tell who's who, you know, when things are happening and stuff. But I really like this one. Next up is one of the best slashers of all time, in my opinion. That is The Burning. I absolutely love this movie. Basically, it's about a camp handyman, is he? He works on this camp. And basically, they play a trick on him. And he gets burned, but nearly dies, doesn't quite die. And he comes back a few years later to start seeking revenge on all these, you know, all these teenagers at this camp. And it's a really, really good slasher, guys. Weird choice of weapon there as well with the scissors, but there's a scene on a raft in this movie that is just one of the best slasher movie moments ever. Yeah, really good movie, this one, guys. I only really watched this about 2 years ago for the first time and just fell in love with it straight away. Next up is one of my favourite movies of all time, and that is the Steelbook edition of The Burbs. Just love it. This weird family move into the street where Tom Hanks lives, and all these other quirky neighbours, and they basically think that they are murderers because they've never seen them come out the house or anything. So Tom Hanks and his friends decide to poke their noses in. But this is a really nice Steelbook edition. You know, One of my favourite movies of all time. I'm not a massive Steelbook person, but I had to get that on Steelbook. It's one of my favourite films ever. Next up is one of my favourite horror movies of all time. That is Candyman. I speak about this movie way too much on this channel, but it's just fantastic. You know, say his name 5 times in a minute and he'll come for you. Just yeah, it is underrated because, you know, I think it's up there with some of the best horror movies ever made. It's just fantastic. Cannot wait for the reimagining or the sequel or whatever it is. But we're not going to get it in June by the look of it. Next up we have City of the Living Dead. This is like an old edition, the older Arrow editions, and I think these go for quite a bit of money now. Didn't love this one. It was a little weird, you know. Couldn't get into it, guys. I thought it was like going to be a big zombie movie, and I don't think it is. It was just a weird one, this. From what I remember, it just bored me. I couldn't get into it at all. Next up we have Climax. One of the newer Arrow releases. I think this is like 2017, and this is basically about a group of teenagers at a party, and the punch gets spiked with all these drugs, and everyone starts going crazy and weird, and you feel like you're there at this party with these people because most of it is in one shot, most of the scenes, and it's a really well directed film by Gaspino. I really like this one. It's definitely worth a watch, but not for everyone, but I enjoyed it. Next up is The Crazies, a movie I have not seen yet. I've seen the remake, I enjoyed it, just haven't got round to this one. Yeah, I do want to as well. I actually brought this down with another movie the other day and said to my fiance, pick one, and she picked the other one, so hopefully I get round to this soon. Next up is one of my favourite Blu-rays that I own, and that is Dawn of the Dead. I love this edition. It goes for quite a bit of money now on eBay and Amazon and stuff, but it's fantastic. Just a fantastic edition. My favourite zombie movie of all time. It all takes place in a shopping mall. And, you know, there's like 4 reversible covers here, a poster, all sorts of extras, 3-disc edition, and I just love it. I just love this edition. So happy I bought it when it came out. One of the first Blu-rays I bought, that one. Next up is Day of the Dead, which is sort of a sequel to Dawn of the Dead, but it's not really. It just takes place in the same sort of universe. Another great zombie movie. I absolutely love it. I think I put this actually second on my favourite zombie movie, so yeah, fantastic. Same as Dawn of the Dead, you know, 3 different covers, nice poster and loads of extras, yeah. Glad to have them too. They're like the older Arrow editions. Next up is Deranged. Haven't watched this one yet. Apparently it's based on the story of Ed Gein. Haven't watched it. Another one I haven't watched, sorry guys, is Don't Torture a Duckling. It just sounded interesting. I was getting 5 for £30 in HMV, and I just read the back and it sounded interesting. Haven't got round to it yet. Next up is Flowers in the Attic. I watched this about 5 or 6 years ago, and it's basically about these kids who are locked in an attic and can't go out because I think it's their distant relative or auntie taking care of them, and she says it's bad outside, from what I remember anyway. But it was a bit weird, the interaction with the sister and the brother in this. It was a little strange. If you watch it, you'll know what I mean. But it's not a bad movie. I enjoyed this one. Next up is a movie that has the same quote in it every 2 minutes. Right, Napoleon? That's all this woman says in this movie to a little statue cat. But basically this is about this woman who says right, Napoleon all the time, and her son, and basically they kidnap women and scalp them for their hair because they work in a wig shop. It's ridiculous, but it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. I think it was only on for an hour, 60 minutes or something. But, 72 minutes. There's another movie on here as well called A Taste of Blood. A full movie, but I haven't watched that yet. I think I put it on for about 5 minutes and thought, oh, I'll watch this another time. Gruesome twosome. This one I watched 2 days ago, and that is Hell Comes to Frogtown. That's what I love about Arrow. They just take these stupid movies and give them a nice release. And this has got Roddy Piper in it, and it's a ridiculous movie. It really is. He's got to go with these other 2 women to save all these other women who've been kidnapped by mutant frogs, so he can reproduce more humans by having sex with all these women, because there's not many men left on the earth. It's a stupid concept, but I enjoyed it. It was okay. It wasn't bad. Next up is The Hills Have Eyes. Definitely prefer the remake, but this isn't bad. You know, the last 30 minutes of the movie really got going for me. It wasn't bad. It's just a little bit dated now, but basically it's just about a family who get lost in the outback of America, and this cannibal family living in the hills come and terrorise them. But I do prefer the remake. That is one of the very few remakes I do prefer. Don't know if it's because I watched that first before that one, but... Next up is House. Just a daft little horror comedy about this guy who moves into a house and there's little sort of monsters living in there. I think the monsters are whatever. It's just a horror comedy. It's quite an enjoyable one. His neighbour's crazy. Just invites himself over all the time. Not a bad movie. But this one is, to me, an absolute masterpiece. And that is House 2. Hasn't really got anything to do with the first movie, but this movie is so bad it's good. It's amazing. It's just some of the stuff that goes on in this you would not believe, honestly. It's more of an adventure film, this, because they go into different realms and stuff within the house, like dinosaur lands and stuff. At one point they actually bring this pterodactyl back and keep him as a pet. And at one point they're having having dinner, and the pterodactyl's sitting there with a knife and fork and like a bib around. Some of the stuff in this film is just crazy. It's that bad, it's good. I recommend this to everyone. I will definitely watch this again. My favourite of the House movies, definitely. Next up is House 3. I think this was originally meant to be called The Horror Show. It's got nothing to do with the first 2 movies at all. And this is about a guy who sort of kills... I think he's killing people and coming through the TV sets. Kind of like the movie Shocker. Same concept. This got Lance Henriksen in. It's not great. You know, it's probably the worst House movie, to be honest. Next up is House 4, The Repossession. I actually thought this was going to be the worst one, but it was okay. You know, there's a talking pizza in this one. they're just crazy movies, the House movies they are, and this is just as crazy as the first 2. The third one's more of a serious film, but it wasn't bad, this. It wasn't bad. Glad to own all them. Next up is probably my least favourite... No, it's not. One of my least favourite Arrow releases, that is House by the Cemetery. I just could not get into this movie. And all you hear in this is, Bob, Bob, Bob. That's all the mother says to her kid. Bob. That's all you hear. It must have the most... This movie has definitely got the world record for someone's name being called out. I guarantee you. I just didn't like that one, guys, at all. Next up is The Incredible Melting Man. Really strong B movie, this one. You know, you can tell it's a real B movie, but I enjoyed it. It weren't bad. You know, I think he gets poured this radioactive stuff poured on him, and he's basically melting, going around killing people, but it was okay. It wasn't bad. Next up is Invasion of the Body Snatchers, Donald Sutherland. I think Jeff Goldblum's in this. Couldn't get into it. It was okay. Just a little slow at times. Not my favourite release by Arrow, but it was okay. This is probably one of the worst movies I've ever seen, and you know, our hats off to Arrow for bringing a big second edition, a 2-disc edition out this with it. This is a perfect example of what Arrow do. It's a terrible movie, but they celebrate it. That is Island of Death. 2-disc edition with a booklet. This is banned in the UK. It was on the video nasty list. Some of these actually are. But I really wanted to watch it just to see what the fuss was about, and it's not a good movie, guys. My fiance said it's the worst movie she's ever seen, and I would put it in my top 5. It's just terrible. I hated the 2 main characters. It's just so many things that happen in this little island, and these people living there just don't get onto the fact that these are killing people, and it's just, how can you not know? It's just a terrible film. I did not like that movie at all. Next up is a movie that I absolutely love. That is Killer Clowns from Outer Space. The best B-movie horror of the 80s, in my opinion. I just freaking love this film. Look, I've got a thing for movies with clowns in and stuff. But this was fantastic. I loved it. It's a ridiculous name for a movie, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but it works. And I love the way the clowns have got all these people in, like, candy floss. And that's how they capture them. They put them in these candy floss cocoons and stuff. Great movie. Just, if you want a fun movie to watch, just grab this. Lots of special editions on, special features on there too. It's just loaded with them. I love this movie. Next up is a movie I have not seen yet, and that is King of New York. My friends actually watched this and recommended it to me and said it's quite good, but just haven't got around to this one yet. Next up is one of my big box editions, and that is Last House on the Left. I haven't got too many of these big box Arrow editions, guys, but basically, you know, got the Blu-ray in there, a poster. I'm not going to open it up, but there's a big poster there, and you know, like a big booklet, a big thick booklet and stuff. Not a bad movie. Another one, I prefer the remake, I'm not going to lie. That's another one where I do actually prefer the remake, but it wasn't bad. Wes Craven, you know, I had a lot of people fuming back in the day when he made that one. Next up is Madman. Not bad, not a bad slasher. Basically about a farmer, this farmer guy who, someone tells the story of him, and he comes and kills all these people at, I think it's a camp. But not as good as The Burning, similar sort of thing. Next up is Maniac Cop. I really enjoyed this movie, you know, because it's a cop going around killing people, makes it an interesting little twist. I really enjoyed this one. Bruce Campbell is in this from The Evil Dead. Just a really solid, you know, horror movie from the 80s, and there's a Maniac Cop 2 and 3. I haven't seen them yet, but I would like to. I really enjoyed this one. It was quite a fun film. Next up is an underrated movie, in my opinion. That is Microwave Massacre. I thought this was going to be absolutely terrible, and it is, but it's like the movie I was talking about before, House 2. It's that bad, it's good. And basically, this guy who is getting sick of his wife's cooking, so he decides to, he's arguing with her and he accidentally kills her, and he starts putting her body parts in the freezer and microwaving them and eating them and bringing them to work, and his mates at work are like, can you bring me some, because they all like the taste of it and stuff. It's a ridiculous horror comedy, but I really like this one. Next up is The Mutilator. Not a bad B-movie, not a bad slasher movie. These friends that go to their friend's house that their dad owns or something. What do you call it? Like a holiday home. Sorry about that. They go and visit, but the kid's dad is there, just still there and killing people. So yeah, he knows his dad's a bad person and stuff, but you know, there's a kill in this movie in a swimming pool, and the killer actually takes his clothes off and gets in the pool to kill this person. Like the way he had time to, you know, get changed before he kills him and stuff. It's not a bad movie. Next up is Nightmare City. Couldn't really get into this one. It was just, I'll tell you what it is though, if you want lots of kills and lots of violence and that's all you care about, definitely watch this, because there's about 80 kills in this movie, but these zombies are just running around with machine guns and stuff. was a bit of a strange one. I prefer my zombie movies to be actual zombies, and these were just like bits of popcorn put on people's faces, painted over with black paint, and said, give them a machine gun and run around. You could tell the makeup wasn't great. Just a dumb movie for me, but it was a very violent one, I'll give it that. Next up is Old Boy. Recently just bought this one. This will be in my DVD and Blu-ray update at the end of the month, because I've just got this one. But glad to own it. Like Audition, I haven't watched it for a long time, and it's on my rewatch list, but basically about a guy who gets kidnapped for 15 years, put in this cell, and he comes out, his wife's died, and he seeks revenge on the person who locked him up. Good movie. Really strong foreign movie, this one. A lot of people have seen this. Next up, we have People Under the Stairs. Absolutely love this movie by Wes Craven. Basically, it's about these two. Well, they are sort of burglars, but I think they're doing it to get back at the landlord who won't give them, you know, a moment's peace. And they go in and decide to rob him, basically. But what they find in this house is not like you can imagine. Basically, the landlord's crazy. Really good movie, this. I watched it not long ago and I still loved it. You know, I actually feel like watching this now, talking about it. But it's a great movie, this, guy. Next up is Pieces. Yeah, not bad. You know, I think this all takes place in a high school. Some good kills in this. You know, it's just a slasher movie in a high school, basically. But yeah, I enjoyed it. It wasn't bad. Looked great. This looks absolutely brilliant for an 80s horror movie on this Blu-ray release. I think, oh, brand new 4K transfer, so there you go. It looked great, that one. Next up is a movie that was on my top 10 underrated movie list that I've done, the last video I've done, and that is Psycho 2. Norman Bates comes out after 22 years and he doesn't know, murder start occurring again, but you don't know if it's him doing it or someone else, because he doesn't even know. You know, it's a really good whodunit movie, this. Very underrated. Tarantino actually thinks this is better than Psycho 1. I'm not sure about that, but it's definitely watch it, guys. It's not just a cash grab. It's a really well thought out and well written movie, this one. This is my favourite Blu-ray that I own. It's a big box edition of RoboCop. Absolutely love it. It's just my favourite movie of all time. You know, you get a poster in there. I'm not going to open it up. Got the Blu-ray. Big 70-page booklet. You know, look at that. Emil there getting melted. I love this movie, guys. It's just my favourite movie of all time. Not more needs to be said on RoboCop. A few more titles to go, guys. Not long now. Next up we have Rollerball. Another movie I haven't seen yet. I really want to, though. You know, it just sounds like my type of film. I'll try and get round to that soon, but I've heard good things about that one. Next up is 16 Candles, a film by John Hughes, I think. I watched this around Christmas time. I thought it was a little strange, to be honest. This girl who's 16 and everything just goes wrong on a 16th birthday, but even her parents are like forgetting that it's a 16th birthday. I just wasn't buying it at all. It's a strange movie, this one. Really strange. Next up is The Slayer. Haven't watched this one yet. I've heard it's terrible. Just haven't got round to it yet. Next up is Slugs. I watched this the other day. It wasn't bad. It's a bit ridiculous. Better than I thought it would be. I put it in and I didn't have any hopes for it at all. It's basically about these little slugs who are more, what do you call it? They've got teeth and shit. So they're not your average slug, and they're basically taking over this town. And everyone's oblivious to it, apart from these two guys who try and stop it. You know, there's some good kills in this, to be honest. Mad what slugs can actually do. There's a scene in this that tries to be like the movie Alien, where this guy's got all the slugs in his, taking over his stomach and stuff. Next up is a movie by Dario Argento, is it? Yeah, Dario Argento. Tenebrae. I actually like this better than Suspiria. I'm not gonna lie. I thought this was quite a good movie. This decent story. It's about a guy who writes horror novels and someone's copying his novel. And one of his novel is actually called Tenebrae, and someone's going around copying the killings out the book. It's quite a good movie, this one. I enjoyed it. Next up is another big box edition of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. It's a bit strange, this one, because it's all in like different like sleeves and stuff. Yeah, but a lot of people love this movie, guys. I didn't feel much for it, you know. I just thought it was a 2 out of 5 film, to be honest. Maybe because I love the first one so much. This is totally different. This is like a comedy. Bill Moseley was quite good in this film though, as the hitchhiker guy. Is he the hitchhiker? I think so. But yeah, nothing fantastic. Nice tone, that edition though. 2 more left, guys. The next movie we have is Weird Science. Watched this yesterday morning, actually. Yeah, another John Hughes movie. I like this better than 16 Candles. It's dumb fun, basically, and Robert Downey Jr. is in this when he's about 18 or something, which was strange to see. But yeah, better than 16 Candles. They basically make this woman with the computer, these 2 nerds, and you know, they'd suddenly become these popular guys at school because she's like a nice looking girl they've made, and you know, she's sort of gets their popularity up basically, and she's sort of loyal to them too for making it and stuff. It's a good movie. I think a lot of you have seen Weird Science. Last movie on the list, guys, is going to be Zombie Flesh Eaters. I love this movie. It's one of my favourite zombie movies ever. I think I put it 3rd in my top 5 zombie films. And it's just how a zombie movie should be made from the 80s, you know. I love it. It's just really good. If you're looking for a good zombie movie, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead, and this are the 3 to go for, in my opinion. Strong uncut version as well. There's actually a part in this where a zombie fights with a shark. But I love this film. Really good one. And that is it, guys, for my Arrow video collection. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I am planning on doing a full Blu-ray collection in next month. That'll be my next collection video. I'll probably have to do it in parts, like part 1 to 5 or whatever, however long it takes. But yeah, I'm just gonna do it, you know. I hope you all enjoyed this video, guys. If you want more, please subscribe. It's up to yourself. If you want to comment underneath, I will reply to every single one of you, I promise. Okay, guys, take it all easy, and I'll see you all next video. Take it easy. See you later.